goes Ohtani, and he's got that thing stolen easily.
Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the full units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty all picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies.
Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
The 50-50 Club. Welcome to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. And it's our last show of the year. And I know some of you are expecting our guy Spin Doc to be here today, and he wants to be, but he has his mother's annual Alzheimer's awareness golf tournament and won't be able to make it. But we do have a few treats for you guys, as it is the last show of the year. How do we not talk hitting props? As Ribeyes with Mike is coming off another 2+ unit day on his last Tuesday's show, and has been on that trend for at least a month and some change now. And then we've got NOLLY KNOWS making his debut this year, which if you don't know, I talk K-props with Spin Doc and baseball with NOLLY. Those are the two opinions I take to heart, as I don't believe in allowing too many people to pollute your own capping. But that man right there has made me a better capper, I will tell you that. So sit back, grab your notebooks, and let's get to the damn money. On this show, we will talk the opening lines of pitching props as well as the closing K-prop lines 30 minutes prior to the show going live. So do me a favor, if you do like what you're hearing, smash that like button. And if you're new to that channel, please hit the subscribe button as well, as there will be content next year. No, there'll be some content next year, but this will be the last show this year. First pitcher we're going to talk about today, guys, is Jared Jones at the Yankees, striking people out at a 26% clip, while walking people 7.5% of the time. Morning line 5.5 plus 105 on DK. Best line available 5.5 plus 112 on FanDuel. Pitching outs not available. Earned runs not available. Projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. Now, Jared Jones, guys, gets the Yankees after they just clinched the division last night with a first-round bye. And when we look at their numbers over the last 15 days, they're walking tops in the league, striking out 24% of the time with a middle-of-the-pack ISO. Now, these numbers are hard for me to take in as I started this write-up, guys, with the Yankees just clinched the division, which means they partied last night. So far this season, we still have been seeing relatively the same lineups. Granted, they are a little hungover, and it's just been good money fading these teams who've clinched, especially when we've got someone in the book to back them. Now, when we look at Jones' plate discipline metrics, we see a guy who's in the zone 3% more than league average, while being better than league average at zone contact, chase, and chase contact. So I'm going to run the projected lineup for zone swing percentage as well as his pitch mix tied to the zone contact, because a guy who lives in the zone needs guys who take and a team who's bad at making contact in the zone. But before that, I even do the work, guys. Like I said, I need to see the lineups, but I did the work because I was like, man, I know this team takes, and we've got 6 of the 9 projected guys who take pitches. We have 6 of the 9 projected who are bad at zone contact. This plays into our man Jared Jones's K-prop. Now, he is coming off of a really bad start in Cincinnati, where The metrics just said it was going to be a bad start. 7 of the 9 had really good zone contact. And when you live in the zone versus a team who makes that good of zone contact, it was a recipe for disaster. Now he has a chance to go into next season, as he knows he's going to be a part of their starting rotation, to take that taste out of his mouth versus a hungover Yankees team. And that's where I had to get in right here, guys. I had to take the Yankees' first 5 team total under 2.5 at -125 for a half a unit, as I do see a quality start coming with no more than 2 runs. Now, I'm probably going to be hesitant to run as K prop. And like when I talk about Taj Bradley later, I'll go with the max amount of number I think he could have, and I'll probably take a dart throw on it. The fact they're not offering his pitching outs, they're not offering his earned runs, tells me the books are afraid of what's happened the last few years. Meaning, the last 3 days of baseball, a lot of these guys are on restricted numbers of pitch counts that we don't know. They're going to pitch the allotted number, and that is it for the day, whether it is 4 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, 75 pitches, or 90. Most of the time, these guys have a initial game plan coming into the game, and the fact that they're not offering his pitching outs, his earned runs, tells me he could be on one of them type of numbers. So give me the team total under first 5. I don't want to back the Pittsburgh Pirates freaking bullpen. I want to back Jared Jones. I want to back a team who's been hung over. Do me a favor, if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. And if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. If you don't know, on this channel, Jose Berrios is a national fucking holiday. 22-3 when we bet him this year, and he gets the Marlins in his last game out, striking people out at a whopping 19.5% clip while walking people 6.5% of the time. Morning line 5.5 at even money on DraftKings. Best line available to that 5.5 is still even money, and now on FanDuel. Pitching outs are not available, whereas earned runs are at a 2.5 -120 juice to the under. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties. It's the last Jose Berrios day of the year, guys, and we get a Marlins team who is not walking, striking out 20% of their at-bats with a middle-of-the-pack ISO. Now, you know by now I don't really care about how the team is playing, but the K percentage and them walking is definitely a good sign. Yet it's the reason why we're going to get a 5.5 on this man when we've been getting 4.5s for so many weeks, but it is what it is. We had a 5.5 last week, and the even money at a 5.5 tells me like that is a little bit of question here, guys. We got a team striking out 27% of the time. This should, in my opinion, be higher than that, but that's fine. It still comes down to me, guys, to the chase contact. It's been like that for the last 2 years for me, and it's been money in the bank. When I run this projected lineup, we have 5 of the 9 projected worse than league average when it comes to chase contact, which for me, guys, is a no-go at the moment. I like to have 2/3 of the lineup to me to favor either the under or the over, and I'm not going to change just because it's the last start of the year. Unless they take out Fortes, Bride, Lopez, or Edwards and give me the 2/3 I ask for, then I will bet the K prop over. I will tweet that out once lineups come out, or more than likely the lineups will come out during the show, and I'll let you know if I pull the trigger that way. Now, the other way I do want to back him if I do not take his K props today, guys, is strictly just take Jose Berrios for the win today, as I do believe in live movement. The line movement has moved 30-40 cents in the Toronto favor. And then I think, why has it moved? Well, I believe Jose Berrios is going to go 7 to 9 innings today and go a complete game on his way out for the rest of the year. Now, Sharpie, why aren't you going to play your strikeouts then if you think he goes that long? Jose Berrios, guys, can pitch to contact. He loves to live on the edges. He pitches to the edges. And we have a Miami's Marlins team who chases top 3 in the league over the last month. Granted, I care about chase contact, and if you're going to chase versus this man who wants you to, there's going to be a lot of weak contact, a lot of swings and misses, so it's over or nothing for the K prop, but I am staring more hardly right now before lineups come out at Berrios to record the win, and that's the way I think I need to get in on this spot. We're going to talk us a little bit of Taj right quick, and then we're going to get into some ribeyes with Mike. Taj Bradley at the Red Sox, striking people out this year 26.5%, while walking people 8.5%. Morning line was 5.5 minus 160 on DraftKings, or 7+ on FanDuel. Best line available now is 7+ at plus 120 on FanDuel. Pitching outs not available. Earned runs 2.5 at a pick'em. Projected lineups 5 righties and 4 lefties. Now, Taj gets the Red Sox for the third time this year, where he faced them on a back-to-back to start his season, going 5 innings with 6 punch-outs, then backed it up with a 7-inning, 10-strikeout game. And when we look at the Red Sox numbers over the last 15 days, they're already in Cancun, as they're walking league average, striking out 26% of the time with a bottom 5 isolated power. So all in all, this seems like a smash spot from the outside in, and it may be. Even when we look at Bradley's plate discipline metrics, we got a guy who is better than league average at chase and chase contact, yet about league average at zone contact. Well, the Red Sox are bottom 3 in that category this year, so I know this lineup is going to match up with it saying just go bet them. Yet I can't even get to the pitch mix, guys, with it being the last 3 days of the season with a team who has nothing to play for. And that team being the Rays, a team who is known for babying their younger arms. And if this is a spot, if any, guys, they don't let him go his normal pitch count. I cannot play with fire. Now, I think he goes 75 to 90, but thinking doesn't freaking pay the bills, guys. And Taj Bradley is their future. He is definitely in their starting rotation next year. And if there was a day they pulled him at 45 or 60, today would be the day. So if I take the shot on our boy Taj today, I'm going to do the pitch mix once it comes out, take him for the highest he can go, and then take a dart throw on that 20+. Just $20 on whatever, I believe, like a +3, +400. But there are certain guys, if you are not in contention, not fighting for a spot, I will not back you on a K prop. I will have to look to back you another way. It is the last 3 days of the season. I've learned this shit out the hard way, guys. So it is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one. But then we get to talk some hitting props. And you already know, guys, what type of hitting props we're going to talk. We're going to talk the same motherfucking hitting props we've been talking on this damn show. Why? Because it's been really fucking profitable. That's why.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
Yeah, 70-foot shark. You can be heard, but for some reason my ass just ain't put you up yet.
What up, Sharpie? Welcome to the last weekend of Major League Baseball. Last series.
Last series is, bro, and funny shit's been happening to people all week. I've been getting messages from people like, bro, what the fuck? I just can't. I'm having a bad week, man, bad month. And I'm like, you got to throw out your capping and understand when playoff baseball comes, it has nothing to do with the regular season anymore, man. And managers start to make managerial decisions that are going to affect the outcome of their team next year or in the playoffs. So it's just a lot of things you got to take in. Like, I'm going to talk Pablo in a little bit, man. Like, yeah, I want to back Pablo today, but if he gets in any type of situational trouble, they have to go to the bullpen.
Right.
There is no tomorrow for them. So there's just so many situations, so many factors. But we got Ribeyes and we've got Mike. So we go cast some tickets today.
Man, we got red meat for dinner, boys. We went 2 of 4, so 50% on Tuesday. We made 2.75 units with them, boys. We took the swings. We got it done. As difficult as it is, and I talk about that on pre-gaming as well, hard to find the baseball spots this time of year that are going to who's playing for what, this, that, the other. But think about batters. They're selfish. When they get up there at the plate, it's them against the world, and they don't give a fuck. Go out there. If they're at the plate, they're trying to get some action, and that's what I want to start with out here. This first guy is an action junkie. You just talked about it. We might as well dovetail right into it here, piggyback off of it, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to pick on Taj Bradley. We're going to go to Tristan Cassis out there with them Boston Red Sox. I mentioned action junkie. That's what you're going to get with this guy, and he's priced at plus 215. Seems to me the books are willing to gamble on this guy, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. You look at a couple of factors here. 6 games played, 21 at-bats. In those 21 at-bats, he's got 8 ribeyes. He's also got 8 walks. He's also got 6 Ks. So you're going to get a whole variety from this guy. But the thing I want to do is pick on Taj Bradley because, versus the lefties here, this is like a lefty day for me as well. 254 versus lefties is Taj Bradley. Goes down to a 221 versus righties. But we look at, overall, when you've got some home numbers for a guy at 244, Boston finishing out the string, trying to get out of this thing, and they're going to send this guy to the plate who's going to try to give the home fans what they want to see from their best batter in the lineup this season. Pick on some Taj Bradley. Give me some Tristan. Give me some plus 210. Good money. Let's get paid. Let's open her up there. It's just a 3-pack today. It's a little shorty 3-pack for Friday.
Hey, I called you on a random 2 hours before the show. Said, bro, it's the last show. Spins at his freaking thing. Come on, man. You got to come. And you didn't hesitate. You said it's 310. I'm there.
310, baby.
Bro, I
310.
appreciate it as always. One thing about Taj Bradley is the guy that's going to be coming on later on. He may have told me about him, and I may have took charge of the Taj Bradley train because I have his show and he don't. But Taj Bradley, one thing he did struggle with in the minors that really it's starting to come back this year where it didn't last year is he did struggle versus lefties compared to righties. Now, last year it was just he kept dominating. But now his minor league numbers are starting to trend back towards those where lefties do hit him better. It's just something that has gone on through his career.
Yep, I think it's a good reason or a good risk, if you will, if you want to gamble a little bit there. By the way, I mentioned that round robin because we did hit 2 of the 4 last Tuesday. We cashed a round robin leg, and that made us incredibly profitable overall. I'm going to do the same thing with these 3. I'm going to go down, though. That was the high water mark, the plus 210. We're going to drop down to this Atlanta Braves game. We're going to take a little shot with Matt Olson. This guy here, getting the lineup back for the Atlanta Braves. Obviously, they've got to decide if this series is going to mean anything against the Mets or not. But as far as last series are concerned, again, at home, they may have those makeup games, but we've got hitting conditions down there in hot Atlanta. Now we know there's the weather's a factor, and there's a hurricane coming through, but we got 12-mile-an-hour winds busting out down the ditch. We got a Brady Singer scumbag status. I mean, that's the only way you can describe it at this point with this guy here. Matty Olson only played 4 games. He's had 12 at-bats his last 7 days. He's gotten a home run. He's gone yardstick. He's also got 4 ribeyes, so he's averaging 1 a game in those spots out there. And you got Brady Scrub Dick Singer. He's a 400 against this guy. He's a 400. Lefties, not good again with Singer. I told you I'm picking on lefties. Singer's ERA goes ERA goes up to a 0.294 versus lefties. You got a struggling Singer. You got a spot where he struggles against lefties. You got a guy in Matt Olson who's coming back with rest. You got hitting conditions, and you're price tagging it at plus 155. Yep. Give it.
Right before the show cracked off, bro, Nolly was sitting back there, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you want a fucking hidden prop today?" I was like, "Sure, bro. What?" And he goes, "Michael fucking Harris. This dude's on he's on fucking fire right now." That plays into your RBI so much because he's leading off.
Perfect.
So it's like, if that dude is getting his over 1.5, like he was telling me, I mean, I like it, bro. Like you said, you pick on him with a lefty, and guess what? Michael Harris is a lefty too, who's in front of him, who's more than likely going to be the guy scoring. It might be a little parlay I have to put in right there. Little. He scores a run and he scores an RBI type. He scores him. Just call it. Just be like, yeah, I stole it from him. I don't care.
Sounds like almost the same game parlay action in there, but I love it. I think it's a great opportunity. I expect runs in that game. And yeah, I mean, it's just because of, Brady Singer struggles right now. That is the guy you want to pick on. And speaking of picking on, let's look at this Cleveland Astros series. Let's bring her home. A little 3-pack. We'll bring her on home, and we'll pick on Joey Cantillo. Guy is struggling right now. He's got that 4.63 ERA. Sharpie, it's only right we close out the show. The season of baseball, the hitting props. You guys know I'm a sucker for Kyle Tucker And he's priced at plus 145 right now. Guy's got 4 RBIs his last 7 days. He hits solid. He's just a consistent batter. 233 when he's on the road. Lefty on lefty matchup. I used to shy away from that to start the season, but man, we're finding that seems to be a little sweet spot there. Tucker's RBI or batting average goes up to a 242 when he's facing those lefties. Joey Cantillo at a 463. The Houston Astros, the Cleveland Guardians. Could this be a postseason matchup? Maybe, but I think we're going to see some runs here today, especially with Joey C going on the bump out there. Sucker for Kyle Tucker. That's how we're going to close out the hitting props this season. Plus 145. That is the sweet spot with Kyle Tucker. I think all them boys in Houston are live. Bregman, Diaz, certainly Tucker, Altuve. I think it's going to be a show. It's going to be a fireworks festival. Bring your glove to the ballpark tonight. Despite what Cleveland's bullpen can do. Postseason's around the corner. They're not going to use all their pieces up and put them in a position to get hurt now. Tucker's a great price at plus 145.
Man, I was on that couple of Houston team total unders or whatnot throughout the last, depending on what day or whatever. And even his outs are scorched right now, bro. He is fucking seeing the baseball like a watermelon right now. Don't hate anything, sucker for Kyle Tucker. And like that's been going on this show for 2 years now. That is the perfect way to end the year because Kyle Tucker's going to fucking bang one for your boys, guys. I fucking hate the Astros, but Kyle Tucker's been some good money for us, guys, okay? So, Kyle Tucker, you can sit at the dog table on Thanksgiving.
Sharpie, that's how we're getting paid, my brother. Thank you for having me on today.
No, bro. Thank you, bro. Year in and year out now. 2 of my 3 years you have been involved in my show. I appreciate it. You don't get paid a fucking dollar. I don't get paid a fucking dollar. So, bro, like, without you, we wouldn't be talking hitting props. And if we were, they weren't really liking the guy that was doing that. So you bring in money. You bring in excitement, bro. You bring in good fucking bets. And I appreciate it, bro.
Much love, brother. Thank you, man. Have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of the show. You guys shout out. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for my guy Sharpie. And check us out, man. We got a big weekend coming up Saturday, UFC Live. We start 11:45 a.m. over there on Sports Money. We're going to be rocking all day long. The UFC's in Paris. They got a 12 p.m. Eastern start time. So get your asses up early. Get ready to make some money. We'll see you guys this weekend, man. Be good. Sharpie, peace, my brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. Yeah, best dad ever. I'm getting all the best dad ever freaking things coming in right now because Jose Barrios is my fucking son. And with how much money I've won on him, I may have to pay child support coming up. But like I said, I'm not going to press it. But right now I'm leaning towards him record the win. I need to see the lineups before I bet it. But it's either him to record the win or a strikeouts over, depending on what they give me. Now, we've got 2 more pitchers to talk. One of them happens to be in one of the 2 games Nolly Knows is going to be talking about. So I'm not even going to talk Max Fried until we get to that game with Nolly. What I am going to talk about right now is Pablo Lopez versus the Orioles. He's striking people out at a 30.5% clip while walking people 5% on the year. Morning line 6+ minus 125. Same exact number. Actually, it's minus 122 now on FanDuel. Pitching outs is 18.5 minus 145 to the under. Earned runs is 2.5 minus 130 juice to the over. Projected lineup is 6 lefties and 3 righties. Now, guys, we get Pablo in a spot where if we want to back him, we can. As the Twins are not dead yet, technically, as they need a miracle, but going into this game, they're technically still alive, which is a good thing if you want to back Pablo's props. Now, the Orioles last night just lost to the Yankees, and the division is now out of reach. So I do expect a day off lineup today. I think so, and I think that will be a big determination on if or how I back Pablo today. Now, we get a low number on Pablo. Well, it seems like a low number at 5.5 at a bettable price, but that's actually his win percentage over the last 10 games to that number, factoring in the Orioles numbers. Now, when we look at Pablo's plate discipline metrics, we see a guy who's in the zone 2% more than league average, around league average at zone contact, with good chase and decent chase contact numbers. Yet when Pablo has had his bad games more often than not, it's been versus teams who are good at chase contact, meaning bad in strikeouts. And when we check the overall numbers and the O's, They're the sixth best team overall when it comes to chase contact. So let's just go look at this projected lineup. And when I did, guys, it shows me that the over I thought I might have been able to get on is a dead fucking under. As we have 6 of the 9 projected that are better than league average when it comes to chase contact. Like I said at the beginning, though, I don't think we get this lineup today. I believe this will be a rest day. And once lineups come out, I will look to bet Pablo accordingly, as we do have some small pass history of 40 at bats, taking in all 9 guys. Granted, there's really not much more than 6, 7 at bats on some of these guys, but everybody has seen him at least 2 at bats, and he's got a nice 32% strikeout rate versus them. Super small sample size, though. Yet the only one who has struggled versus him is Gunnar Henderson. So all in all, guys, I expect most of the Yankees to be in the lineup today, and the lineup did come out. I believe it was missing Judge and a couple others, but I do expect the bulk of the O's lineup to be out of the lineup today, but lineups pending, and we'll all see, guys, because right now it's under 5.5. If they give me this lineup, I'm gonna have to bet it. Do you think I want to bet unders? No. But when you give me 6 of 9, that tells me the guy struggles with it. I'm betting it fucking 10 out of 10 times. And more often than not, if we don't hit, I'm losing by the hook. And to me, those are bad beats. When I lose Bryce Miller striking out the last 2 batters of the 7th inning, it is what it is. When I got Logan Gilbert cucking me on the second to last batter of the game, it is what it is, guys. It's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to win them by the hook. Sometimes you're going to lose them by the hook. Does it mean it's a bad bet? No. No, it took them the whole fucking game. If they got to him any bit earlier, he pulled out the game. So you go 7 innings, man. I probably won't take an under if I think a guy goes 7 innings. Now, I've done that with Berrios once. I'm like, all right, man, I think Berrios, okay, this is one of those games where he's going to go deep, bro, but I got to bite the bullet. And he went 8 with 3 that day, guys. But not very often I'm looking to bet me a fucking K-prop under if I think the guy's going to go super fucking deep. Because the more opportunities you have, the not so much good for you. Well, guys, it's the end of the year. There was no spin doc today. So we had to bring in some ribeyes with Mike. But a treat for me, guys, is a treat for you. You guys, y'all more likely know him. He hasn't been on screen for a long time, you know. He done took his motherfucking time to come back to fucking talk baseball to everybody. But he's here. And you know why he's here? Because it's fucking under season. Yeah, what up, my boy?
What is going on, Sharpie? What's going on, Chad? Thank you for having me on. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Kind of nervous. Palms are sweaty, you know, feels like the first time, but excited to be here. Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, bro, always, bro. My package that I've been waiting on just finally came in, so after the show, I'm going to smoke me some of that good. But,
Nice.
yeah, so we get to talk us a little bit of baseball today. 2 days ago, you sent me a message like, hey, your last show on Friday? I'm like, yeah. And you sent me a picture of your background and your microphone and said, put me in, coach. And then I found out 2 days later, like literally today, that Spin Dog had his mother's stuff going on today. So it kind of worked out perfectly. It kind of works out perfectly that we're both betting the same game. I'm in it a little differently than you are. But either which way, we're still both looking the same way, man. So let's talk this first game on the board that we're going to talk, and that's these Royals at Atlanta. We've got Singer versus Fried, and I'm going to talk me some Fried. I'm going to talk my bet, and you can get into you. But you guys, if you don't know, sorry to put you on the spot, Nolly, and I hope you did your work today. You're going to see where I got my motherfucking, where I get my write-ups and shit from, guys, because there ain't not many other people that get thoroughly into this shit like the man next to me right here, bro. So I expect some good shit coming out of your mouth right now, my man. So let's talk Max Fried at the Royals. Striking people out, or versus the Royals. Striking people out 23% of the time, walking people league average. Morning line was 5.5 minus 108. Now it's minus 118 on FanDuel to that 5.5. They do not have his pitching outs or earned runs available, which is a little fucking weird, but fine. Projected lineup, 8 righties, 1 lefties. Mad Max, guys, gets the Royals in a double whammy spot. Meaning we get freed, guys, in September, October, where we like to call it light switch free, as he has his best ERA when it matters, lower than any other month by a half of a run, and that's going back through multiple years and goes to his career numbers. Now, the second part of this double whammies is the Royals aren't hitting lefties for the life of them, as their numbers over the last 200 plate appearances versus lefties are just straight atrocious. They're not walking, striking out 25% of the time, and have an ISO so low it's just disgusting to say the least. So yeah, I want to back Fried in September versus a team who isn't hitting lefties for the life of them. So I go look for his outs, and they're not available. I go look for his earned runs, still not there. Okay, so I go look at the team total, guys, and I look at the under 3.5 minus 154 at the time, and it's a little juice for my liking. But after looking into it more and more, I said, I got to pay that price. Like, why am I going to try to parlay something? So what? It's 4 cents more than what I normally paid for a bet. I've got a rested Atlanta's bullpen. I've got Max Fried in September versus a team not hitting lefties. This was just a straight no, don't be stupid bet. And when I went to go bet the team total under 3.5, which I thought was at minus 154, it was at minus 145 when I clicked on that bitch. So I got a half unit, guys, on the Royals team total under 3.5 at minus 145. Team Sharpie got in super early this morning. So yes, the 9 has moved to, I believe, minus 160, 150, depending on your book. Maybe look towards a parlay piece if you're looking to parlay something up today. Take the 4.5 and don't sweat that shit then if you're looking for something to put it up with. So I and Team Sharpie are on this team total under 3.5. I'm pretty sure we know how you're looking, as you're not giving out overs on this show, Nolly. Let's talk baseball.
Come on. Overs are for someone else to bet. That's not my job. Not an over better. I will take it occasionally, but yeah, I see profit. I see profit on the under. And we're talking right now, the Atlanta Braves, the most profitable under team in baseball, 92 and 59, 60% to the under. And guess what? They're even better at home to the under, 50 and 25 to the under, 66.7%. That is good money. That is a good spot to be. And not to mention, we got some great weather for under. We got under weather here, 70 degrees, 14-mile-an-hour winds, up to 17 at game time, blowing in. Oh, man, that's going to add to the break of Max Fried. And you mentioned it. Max Fried, light switch here in September. Right now, he's got a 2.88 ERA in the month of September. And let's go back over the last few seasons. Last year, he had a 1.88 ERA in September. In 22, he had a 2 ERA in September. In 21, he had a 1.54 ERA in September. This guy's a monster. This guy has been through it all. He was put in a very high leverage situations against the Dodgers very early. And this guy, he performed, and he's been through it all. He's got a lot of experience, and he knows what's at stake here. It's a big game. They've got to win this game, and that's what he does. Max Fried is a big-time pitcher, and I expect him to do really well here. You look at his numbers against left-handed batters, not so great, but we're only seeing 3 here today. Against the righties, it's a significantly different. Versus the lefties, 321 batting average, 455 slugging. But against the righties, 207 batting average and just 284 slugging. Significant difference. And that's not typical what you see in the MLB. So Max Fried, he's going to shut down these Kansas City Royals, who just won 3 straight. Yeah, that's great against the Nationals. But what happened before that? You lost 7 straight, scoring 13 runs in that span, 1.9 runs per game in those 7 games. They can't hit. I always say that shit to you. They can't hit. They're not a consistently hitting team. If it ain't hitting, they're not hitting, bro. And they're not in Kansas City. So we got good chances here. That's what I'm saying. So on that side, that's what I see. That's the ace, right? Undoubtedly the ace. First round pick, number 7 overall. Max Fried is the ace. And I emphasize the word ace because today we have what's called the ace effect. He's going to make, on the other side, Brady Singer, also former first-round pick, number 18 overall, 6 years apart. Brady Singer's going to come in here and do his thing. I'm not asking Brady Singer to come in and be absolutely dominant just like Max Fried. I'm asking him to do what he did against 2 other playoffs teams here in the month of September when he went 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs against the Yankees, and he went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs against the Cleveland Guardians. So that's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for absolutely lights out. I'm not asking for anything like that. The last high leverage situation he faced was in 22 against the Cleveland Guardians. He went 8 hitless innings. This guy is going to come up and do his thing. I love the under. This is a great play for me. I love it. Maybe I'm loving it too much, but under 7.5, I have to.
Let's get it, bro. 2 things I wrote down. I went through Max Fried splits versus lefties up to a month ago. The majority of all of his bats versus lefties were versus high contact guys like Luis Arias, Bryce Harper. It was Alvarez. It was Cronenworth. It was like, oh my God, bro. These are all top 10 guys that don't just strike. I mean, Harper strikes out. Alvarez don't. Tucker don't. Arias don't. It was more like, nah, dude, the elite lefties were giving him a problem. So I took advantage of it one time when he faced a bum lefty squad because I went through the 12 innings at the time that he had and found every lefty he faced. And I was like, he's faced all dogs, bro. Like, yeah. So I don't believe Max Fried versus lefties is a worrisome. Now, if it's a really good lefty that makes good chase contact, yeah, okay, then I'll say okay. But another thing, Max Fried on a contract year in September, bro. Like, this dude's up for grabs. All he got, he's already shown he's a stud in the playoffs. Why not another freaking chip in the hat on your way to going to getting paid? This may be your last game you start all fucking year. You may not make the playoffs. I expect him to go out on a fucking bang today.
Yeah, definitely, bro. That's what he does. And touch up on a point you mentioned Michael Harris. And Michael Harris has been on an absolute tear. You look at the last 13 games, 417 batting average. He's been hitless once over the last 13 games. He's got an 8-game hitting streak. He's got 18 hits and 37 at-bats, bro. He's one hit away from being 500. In 8 games, bro. That guy's on an absolute tear. You talk about it. He mentioned it in one of the articles that I read. He's unconscious right now. He's in the zone. He feels like he's going to hit every ball and he's going to catch every ball. He's playing great outfield. I'm a big Harris fan. That guy's a monster, bro. So, yeah, I took a little shot.
Well, another thing, the next game that we're going to talk about here was we were talking on the phone this morning. And this was a game where I didn't even think I wanted nothing to do with it until I realized – I was like, oh, you keep asking me questions. I get it. So let's talk freaking Arizona at San Diego. Kelly versus Darvish. We know this must be another under spot, so I'm not going to spoil the news you found out for me because like you going into it before you dug and found it, I thought the Padres were done now. Okay, they're not winning the division. They got their shit locked up. Wash their hands. We can't bet the Padres no more. Well, maybe we can. Go ahead, Nolly.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I was trying to find reasons to bet it. Is there value here? Are they going to come out with purpose? Right? Dude, Darvish hasn't pitched the whole season. He's doing really well here in the month of September. He's done a great job. Especially over the last 15 in the third innings, he's only given up 4 earned runs. So he's really turning it on right now. And I expect him to continue to do that, especially when I found what I found. Right? He's looking to become the winningest pitcher, or I guess not the winningest pitcher, but the most wins, career wins by a Japanese-born player. And I just think that he's going to go for it. You did mention that they're not really playing for some. They're still trying to battle out for that number 1 wild card spot. They don't hold the tiebreaker. Arizona Diamondbacks hold that tiebreaker, so they kind of have to win this game. They win this game, and they're in the top seed, and it matters significantly because you're either on the road or you're at home. And so that's huge. So the Padres are going to go after this game. And I expect Yu Darvish to do his thing. Yu Darvish is a dog. That's what he does. Against the D-backs, 224 batting average, or 224 at-bats, 254 batting average, 442 slugging against. I'm high on Yu Darvish, always have been, and I think he comes out and performs. This is a big game. This is a playoff game, and I live for this type of stuff. On the other side, Merrill Kelly, and I mentioned playoff games, because did nobody notice what Merrill Kelly did last year against some tough opponents in the playoffs? Last year in the playoffs, 24 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts, 2.25 ERA. He has been turning it on here in the month of September, and I expect him to continue to do that. Merrill Kelly is a dog. I'm trying to look for the September numbers. Here we go. 2.45 ERA, 22 innings pitched. So the guy is a dog. He's going to get his innings, and these guys are going to go for the game. They both have to win. So if they get in any trouble, they're going to go to the pins, and not just anybody. They're going to high leverage guys. You talked about it, how Atlanta's got all their guys. Or excuse me. Sorry. You did mention that, but that's the wrong game. But the Padres have all their high leverage guys. If you look over the last 2 days, they only really used one, and he got lit up, right? But the Padres, to me, sorry, got a message. The Padres, to me, they're going to go for it. And I think they have the one. I think their bullpen is better than the Dodgers. They didn't show it in the series, but I think they are better. I was afraid of that game. If that ball gets handed over to Tanner Scott, a 2-0 ball game, we lose that ball game, right? So, and another thing, they just played a really late game. They get out of there. The ball game ends at 10 o'clock. What time do they actually get out of there? They still got to fly to Arizona. What time did they get to bed? Probably a little bit after me. I did have a little late night. But, hey, I'm partying. We're champions, baby. NL West champions. I was partying a little bit. Anyway,
you were at the fucking game, bro. You didn't get home till 1 a.m.
I do, yeah. They got me dancing. They got videos. They made gifs of me. Yeah, I had a great time, bro. I had a great time. I had my kid there. He broke his foot, and I was like, you're still going, bro. Got him a wheelchair, and I wheeled his ass in there. Let's go. He ain't missing this either. So it was a great time, man. Yeah, I'm getting emotional talking about it because it was such a great time. But going back to this game here, two great teams, right? Diamondbacks and the Padres, they're two very good teams. They're going to compete. And I just feel in the playoff atmosphere at an 8.5, the roof's going to be closed. I have to take this under 8.5.
Yeah, man. Once you started talking about that this morning, you made me started looking towards – man, this is Hugh Darvish for the win spot. You know, he's going for the most wins for a Japanese-born pitcher, and they know that. And then you just brought up, too, they do need to win. They have not finished off their playoffs. Is this not their fucking ace? I'm going to say it is, bro. This is the guy they paid a boatload of fucking money for this type of a situation. So I'm going to look to back Darvish probably as well. Just look at it towards the win. As I'm not sold on Merrill Kelly like you, buddy. I mean, I know he's a dog, but man, I fucking don't like the kid.
Shit, watching him live take care of the Dodgers, bro, that was crafty. He's crafty up there.
Hey,
and it's
made
fun
money
to watch,
off of him
man.
last year versus the Phillies. It's just this year it's been hard for me with him coming back so late. It's just been like, okay, maybe his starting to get back to the Merrill Kelly of last year, but at the beginning it just seemed like, dang, bro, fuck, I hate pitchers who come in so late. We talked about that, dude, with Blake Snell and Montgomery and stuff. It's like you gotta have a spring training.
No, 100%. I may be a little bit biased. I do believe Darvish is the ace. I think without a doubt, he's going to go out there and shove whether or not he has his best stuff or not. Because guess what? If he doesn't have one pitch, he's got like 6 others he could just go to. So just keep going with that. You know, the guy's a stud, man.
Well, bro, as always, we appreciate you. I mean, finally jumping on this year. I'm glad we got you on. I mean, the key is don't ask Nolly. Let him ask you, and he'll show up. So, appreciate you as always. Drop those 2 unders. Let these fine people know what you got going on, where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Been a little bit tough on Twitter. I seem to go on a run, and then I try to post something, and then I lose. So, and then I take the next few days off. So I'm gonna take the next few days off because I lost yesterday. So I won't be on Twitter the next couple of days, but you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me. I'm gonna be talking a lot of these playoffs. I'm gonna be jumping on here and there. I love playoff baseball. You know, everybody on Saturday and Sunday is watching football. I've been watching baseball because it's been a great baseball to watch to hear down the stretch. And I got a lot of good things I feel like we're going to be doing in the postseason. You know, Sharpie, we kill the postseason. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to do it again. So, yeah, you'll catch me at NOLLY KNOWS on Twitter, and you'll be seeing me around.
Yes, sir. Well, fellas, that's the end of the show today. Right now, I have a half unit on the Royals team total under 3.5 at -145. A half unit on the Yankees first 5 team total under 2.5 at -125. And lineups are starting to come out. I will tweet out how I attack with Berrios, as well as the other guys I'm looking at. Be very careful if I could tell you anything betting this weekend, guys. If the pitcher is out of it, be very careful betting props. You don't know how long they're going to go. And it's showing in a lot of these pitchers not having outs props available. The books got cooked last year, and they're not going to let it happen again. So let's just keep winning. It's playoff baseball, September, October. Like Nolly was saying, man, this has been some of the most profitable betting times of the last few years, guys. So let's just not stop. Let's keep stacking money and try not to give it back on that dirty ass NFL, because they dirty.